Hi, my name is Guzman, and this is the final presentation. Um, well, to begin, to start answering the questions, question one, what have you learned about your writing process and what will you walk away with? Well, to start off, I learned it's important to plan our writing into steps. So at the end, we are able to create a notable final draft of our work. In the past, I would deal with this by just skipping the steps and get straight into the finalized draft and completing it in the very last minute before the due date. I wouldn't even begin to imagine using the writing process method that we use now, because for me, before that was a waste of time, doing a lot of work, and when reality it's not, because using it is very helpful in so many ways and so much easier to put together a final draft in the end. In this course, I learned this by actually trying it out for myself. We had assignments that I had to deal with doing the step-by-step process, for example, doing the drafts, organizing, revising, editing, and I've seen a greater result. And it's the progress that helps us grow as students, learners, and not just skipping ahead of the steps straight into the final destination of the assignments. It's the development through the process that helps us strive. And just the examples, let me pull it up, screenshot. This is the rough draft. This is the assignment we had to do, and this is the final product of that draft. So I turned it to a YouTube video, and I changed the topic, the questions. And yeah, it's it's important to draft before you just straight make to this video, because I used to do that. I used to just make the video and not do the draft part. So it's really important, because from here and from here I changed it. It's not the same topic or whatever in the sources. I changed one source, I think. Yeah. In the future, I could use this knowledge by being more aware of my work, by using the writing process in my assignments, by doing drafts and all that, so that the final product would come out amazing. I'll give more time effort because using the writing process allows me to think and do more overall. And I also learned from this question one that the importance of revising our work based on the feedback we received from my teachers and classmates. In the past, I knew that revising was important, but I would change stuff based on my own understanding of what's better now. In this class, I learned that by sending our drafts and work to our teaching discussion board, to our classmates, I would receive feedback and our data before. That would help a lot better than changing stuff on my own. So this is an example of my work, me receiving feedback from my classmates. It really did help a lot. I managed to change some stuff. I know you gave feedback to me, and I changed some of my sources so I could come up with a better question of my work. Okay, next question. Question 2. What have you learned about your research process and what will you walk away with? Okay, well, I learned how to find good sources that pass the crab test worksheet, the one I gave out, and to help support my research. In the past, I knew to find sources to back up my argument and to trust whatever I found on social media. I would just search up something related to my topic and just get the main idea of it, copy paste it to my research, and turn it in. And in this class, I learned that actually finding quality sources that are worthwhile using my research on. I also learned that the sources didn't always have to agree with your argument. You could also find one that doesn't see eye to eye as a research prompt, so that you can talk more on why it doesn't and whatnot. So let me pull out an example. So this is the crab worksheet. this is what you gave us to like actually like test out our sources, if it's actually good or it's crappy. 2 of them turned out to be good and 1 like was kind of crappy, so I changed the 3rd one. This is like my finalized post of the 3 sources I chose. In the future, I could use this knowledge by using it for the rest of my college career and just like also to the rest of my life, because instead of just trusting like everything I see on the media, I need to actually like triple check the sources I use and see if it actually is going to help me expand my knowledge about the research I'm investigating, and not just like know the same stuff I already knew. Furthermore, I also learned that you need to stick like to one topic when you're researching something and not like have too many questions all cramped into one. In the past, I knew that like research was something to talk about, or like research was like something to talk about and you just write like a 6-page essay research paper about something and you just turn it in. But in this class, I learned that research is more than just a writing paper. Research is like an interest you want to find out about, and it's not just like a one-step essay. This class like taught me the research process, and like it made it so much easier and fun to investigate a research question all on our own. And to listen to the feedback of my teacher and my peers has helped me a lot understand the depth of this concept. And to put on an example, this is some feedback the professor gave me about my topic, and I changed it in the end. And in the future, I'll use this in the future by using the research process. Like every time I have to like investigate something, like every time I have to like do a research of some kind, and not just like skip straight to the answer. Like I now know that it's a process to get to the destination, and it's easy like once you do it like step by step instead of just doing all this but finalize at the end. Question 3. What have you learned about finding, collecting, and integrating secondary sources, and what will you walk away with? Well, to start, I learned that the secondary sources actually like help explain your different positions and ideas about the primary sources, because like before I would just like deal with this like by not knowing like how like important like the secondary sources actually are. I remember I would just like find whatever that relates to my topic and use that, and it wasn't really like effective to my research. This class taught me that finding both new or different positions and ideas about my research is actually better, because it helps like find later on like a whole new different type of research question, and that's what we did this semester, which is pretty cool. This is an example. I think it's our second post about the secondary sources where we introduce it. And these sources helped us create like a new question that we had to solve and answer. So my sources told me like how people interpret things, but didn't answer like why. So that was the new question I asked right here. Well, I also learned that sources can be crappy and not reliable, so we shouldn't like trust all sources we find online. In the past, I would trust like the sources I found to be true and great, but in reality, as I look back, I know that wasn't the case. It wouldn't really help improve my primary sources. This class taught me that going through feedback to choose new sources, because the first ones I found I thought were great, but it didn't pass a crappy test, and that the teacher assigned to us, and it's important to find like the reliable, good, trustworthy ones. So this is feedback from the teacher, if I recall. Telling me to like the sources are good, but it could be better. And so I decided to change it up. Put this up. Yes, it's the sources. Okay. Yes, basically, I received feedback from my sources, and I ended up changing it up a bit. I I'll use this knowledge by like not like always trusting like every time I find I really see my topic online, like the sources, and make sure that the secondary sources can be trusted and will actually help me on my research. To continue, the fourth question: how has your understanding of writing or designing with a purpose developed over the course of the semester? Well, I learned that grabbing the audience attention is very important, and we all need to find like a way on how to get them to do what we want through our writing or research. And so, before I would like deal with this by just like writing whatever and like what I wanted to hear and read for myself, and not paying attention like of who, or like for the audience of who I'm actually writing it for. Throughout the semester, this class taught me that I learned that finding out that our research or writing is for the audience we do it for, and it's important to find a way to get for them to take action. And so this is an assignment paper that we had to complete, brainstorming and planning, call to action. So we basically had to like write this, like who's our audience, and like what do we want our audience to do. And this is very important because we want like our audience to like actually like use this to continue like what our research purpose is for. Because like what's the point of researching something and like no one like continue like what you have envisioned, and like getting the audience to call to action based on like what we researched and posted. It's really important for like the audience to like be to participate in this research, and as the researcher you want to engage with them, so it's really important. I also learned that like coming up with a specific purpose can be difficult to portray a call to action for the audience. So I knew that it's hard for people to follow your work and continue what you started out in the real world. This class taught me that it actually still is difficult, but like once you start doing the research process and knowing like what to do, like you can actually gain like an audience interest. And for example, like doing stuff to engage with the audience, like doing polls, like doing hashtags, commenting, and being able to relate to them and showing them demonstrations and engaging with them. It's really important. And so I've had my audience do a poll for me. Just answer like some questions about like my topic to find an answer. And I had like over 45 college students answer. So that was really cool to see people's different perspectives and all that stuff. This is the call to action worksheet. Continuing, question 5. Explain how you analyze your audience and purpose to choose or create a form/genre. Well, I learned that the audience is specific for like generation like Z and college students, like teenagers, like my age kind of, and if like fits well with them. My research question. I chose this research because I want them to like know like the different types of interpretations that people have. And so I'm running out of time.